All right, so you want to know more about this RFI from the Indian Health Service, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty fascinating one.
It is. And since you already know the basics about RFIs, we can skip right to the good stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Let's dive into how the IHS is getting ready for a major tech upgrade.
Yeah, the level of detail in this document is impressive. You can really tell they're thinking long term.
For sure. So first, who's actually behind this RFI?
Right, so it's coming from the IHS, specifically their Office of Environmental Health and Engineering. That's the OEE.
The OEE. And what exactly do they do?
Well, they're responsible for a ton of stuff.
Like what?
Everything from water safety to overseeing construction projects, all in Native American communities across the U.S.
Wow, that's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, it is. And to manage it all, they rely heavily on custom software.
Makes sense.
Mm.
You need some serious tech to keep track of all that.
Exactly. And what's interesting is it seems like they're not just focused on maintaining the current systems.
Oh, what do you mean?
They seem to be really thinking about how technology can actually improve health outcomes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
This RFI definitely makes it seem like they're ready to get innovative.
Okay, I like that. So, on to the main issue. Their current systems are, well,
A little outdated.
you could say that. They need a serious upgrade, but before they even start building something new, they have a big task ahead of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Documentation.
Right.
They need to figure out what they already have and document it thoroughly.
Makes sense. You got to know what you're working with, right?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
The level of documentation they're asking for is pretty in-depth. It goes beyond just outlining how things work.
Interesting.
They want someone to actually figure out and explain the business rules that are driving these systems.
So it's like they need more than just a mechanic to fix the car. They need someone to, like, understand how the engine was built.
Yeah, exactly. And this kind of detailed documentation, it often gets overlooked in tech projects. Yeah, and that can cause some serious headaches down the line. So the IHS is being smart by addressing it up front.
Definitely. So they're putting in the work to build a really strong foundation. Now, something they emphasize a lot in the RFI is geospatial data.
Right, maps and location data?
Exactly. They use that for pretty much everything, from tracking sanitation facilities to managing construction projects.
Yeah, so they need a system that can work seamlessly with these tools. You have to imagine the challenges of coordinating all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Healthcare and infrastructure across these huge areas.
Often with limited resources, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can think of it like a giant map, right?
Yeah.
That tracks everything from water quality to the progress on a new health clinic, all interconnected.
Wow. But it's not just about maps, right?
Nope, not just maps. They also need help with their financial systems
Oh.
and their project management tools. It's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Budgets, timelines, reporting, and then you have to stay compliant with all the government regulations.
That's complicated.
Oh, it is, but it's clear they're aiming for a complete modernization, moving to a platform that can scale with them.
So that means cloud computing, better security, easier integration with other systems.
Exactly. And, get this, they're even talking about AI and data analytics.
Oh, wow. They're really thinking ahead.
I know, right? It shows they're really committed to using technology in a meaningful way.
Yeah, they're not just playing catch-up. They want to be leaders in how tech is used in healthcare.
Absolutely. They're thinking about how this can improve health outcomes in the long run for everyone they serve.
I like it. So who are they looking to bring on board for this massive project?
Well, what's interesting is they're specifically calling for small businesses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and minority-owned companies.
Huh. That's great to hear.
Yeah, it is. This kind of opportunity can be huge for smaller companies with specialized skills.
It levels the playing field a bit.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong, they're not just handing out contracts to anyone.
Right, of course not.
They want proof that companies can actually achieve what they're promising.
Makes sense.
They're asking for details about similar projects, quality control processes, how the company is structured.
So they're really doing their homework.
Oh, yeah, big time. They want to make sure they find the right partner, someone who's in it for the long haul.
They're not just buying a piece of software, they're investing in a relationship.
Exactly.
So let's dig a little deeper into what they're actually asking for.
Okay, so they want to know about past experience, right?
Right. They want companies to provide examples of at least 2, but no more than 5, projects that really showcase their capabilities.
And it's not just a list of projects. They want specifics. Dates, contract value, location, all of that.
They want to know who the client was, whether it was federal, state, tribal, or something else.
And the level of complexity, too. It's like a mini resume for each project.
Yeah, showing how they've tackled similar challenges before.
Exactly. And they want to know the company's role in the project. Were they the prime contractor or a subcontractor?
Right. Right. And even contact information for the client so they can verify all the details.
They're thorough.
Very thorough. It's clear they're taking this selection process seriously. Another big focus is quality control. They want to know how companies ensure the quality of their work, especially for a project like this.
So they're looking at the company's internal structure. They want to know who's responsible for quality control, if those are full-time roles or part-time.
They're trying to figure out if there's a solid system in place, something baked into the company's DNA.
Right. It's not just about what you do, it's about how you do it.
And it's not just about those internal processes either. They want to know if the company usually acts as the prime contractor, managing the whole project.
This tells them about the company's experience, how they handle big projects, coordinating different teams and stakeholders.
Right, it's a lot to juggle.
Oh, yeah. And finally, they want to know which jobs or disciplines the company usually handles in-house and which ones they might subcontract out for this specific project.
It's like they're piecing together a puzzle, trying to see how all the pieces fit together, making sure it's the right team for the job.
Exactly.
So we have already uncovered a ton about what the IHS is looking for, and they've set a pretty high bar, but there's still a lot more to unpack.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you ready to get into the details of their modernization plans?
Absolutely. Let's see how they're actually planning to pull off this tech transformation.
So it's clear they're not messing around. They really want to create a system that can grow with them. And this is where the RFI gets even more interesting. They're not just asking for general skills,
Right. They want specific answers that show a real understanding of the challenges they face. It's like they're weeding out anyone who's just looking for a quick paycheck.
Yeah, they want partners who are truly invested in the mission, right?
Absolutely. Partners who can actually offer solutions tailored to their specific needs. They want to see that you get it.
So it's less about bragging about your company's size,
Yeah.
more about proving you can solve their problems.
Exactly. And they push vendors to think beyond the obvious solutions. Like, for example, they ask for really detailed explanations of how companies would handle technical maintenance and support.
Right, because it's one thing to build a system. Keeping it running smoothly, that's a whole other challenge, especially in a complex environment like the IHS.
Yeah, and they're not just looking for a reactive approach, like fixing things when they break. They want proactive solutions.
Okay, so like preventative maintenance, making sure things are running efficiently, having a plan in place if something goes wrong.
Exactly. They want a partner who's in it for the long haul, not just the initial setup. And this leads into their whole focus on IT modernization.
Right, they're thinking long term.
Exactly.
Right.
This is where they get into the specifics of migrating to a more modern platform, one that can scale. They're asking about methodologies for assessing needs, finding the right tech solutions, and supporting cloud migrations, or even just updating their tech stack.
It's like they're saying, show us you can actually use these new technologies. Don't just throw buzzwords around.
Exactly. They want a clear roadmap, a strategic plan that shows you understand how complex this modernization project really is.
And it's not just about the tech itself either. They also really emphasize project management. They want to know about PMO support.
Right. That's key to making sure the whole project stays on track, on budget, delivering the results they need. They're asking about how companies would handle things like project tracking, coordinating resources, reporting, managing risks, and even their communication strategies.
So they really want to know there's a skilled team in place to oversee everything from start to finish. It's not just about buying a product. It's about the expertise behind it.
Absolutely. And they're not letting up on quality control either. They want detailed descriptions of quality assurance practices, what metrics companies use to measure performance.
So it's about building it right and making sure it keeps working well over time.
Yep. They're looking for partners who are as committed to quality as they are. And another thing that shows their focus on long-term stability is disaster recovery.
Oh yeah, that's often overlooked. But for the IHS, it's crucial. They can't afford to have their systems go down, especially in an emergency.
Right. They have a whole section on this in the RFI. They want to know how companies approach disaster recovery, what technologies and strategies they use to keep data available and systems up and running, even in a crisis.
So they're thinking about those worst-case scenarios.
Absolutely. They want to make sure the systems they rely on can handle anything.
Makes sense. They want to know their data is safe, and that there's a plan to recover quickly if something happens.
They want that peace of mind, knowing they've got a reliable partner.
It's clear they're not taking any chances. But it's not just about maintaining what they already have, right?
Right. They're also looking ahead, exploring how tech can push the boundaries in healthcare. And that's where AI and data analytics come in.
This is where it gets really exciting.
Right. It shows how forward-thinking they are. They're not just trying to catch up. They want to be at the forefront, using tech to make a real difference for the people they serve.
Yeah, I love that.
The RFI gives some really interesting clues about how they might use these technologies to achieve their goals.
Like what? What kind of examples do they give?
Well, imagine using AI to analyze all that data they have, finding trends and patterns in health issues that humans might miss.
Right, because AI can process so much information.
Exactly. So the IHS could use that to create targeted programs, addressing problems before they become major issues.
Like an early warning system for health crises.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just predicting problems. AI could also personalize healthcare.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. What if you could tailor treatments to each individual patient based on their medical history, genetics, lifestyle, even environmental data?
Wow. So moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. Creating truly personalized care plans.
That's amazing. And I bet AI could help streamline their internal operations too, right?
Oh, absolutely. They could use it to automate tasks, make processes more efficient.
Freeing up staff to focus on patient care.
Exactly. So it's not about replacing humans with technology. It's about using technology to empower them.
I like that.
It's all about working smarter, not harder. And this RFI really highlights the IHS's vision.
Yeah, it shows they're ready to embrace the future of healthcare.
Using technology to drive innovation and ultimately to improve people's lives.
It's inspiring, honestly. But we can't forget about security. That's a huge part of all this.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're dealing with sensitive health information.
Right. And the IHS is definitely aware of that. They have some specific requirements around data security and privacy in the RFI.
Yeah, they want to know how companies would protect that data, what they do for encryption, access controls, and how they comply with regulations like RFI.
It's not just about making the system work. It's about making sure it's secure, protecting patient privacy.
Exactly. They're looking for partners who understand how important data security is, companies with a proven track record.
So this RFI really emphasizes that modernizing healthcare isn't just about upgrading technology.
Right. It's about creating a secure, trustworthy environment.
Where patients feel confident that their information is protected.
It's about building trust, just as much as it's about building systems.
And that trust is essential if you want people to actually use the new technology.
Especially in healthcare.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the technical side of this RFI. But there's another piece we need to talk about.
The human element, right.
Exactly. Because the IHS is really committed to engaging with stakeholders throughout this process.
Oh, yeah. The RFI talks about how important collaboration is, working with tribal communities, healthcare providers, everyone involved.
They're not just looking for someone to build a system in a vacuum. They want a partner who gets it.
Right. A partner who understands the importance of building relationships, working together to make sure this system actually meets the needs of the people who will be using it.
Because technology is only as good as the people who use it, right?
Exactly. If
Yeah.
you want this to be successful, everyone needs to be on board.
So the IHS is taking a really holistic approach to this modernization.
Yeah, they're not just focused on implementing the technology. They want to make sure it has a positive impact on people's lives.
It's a big undertaking,
Yeah,
but they seem to have a solid plan.
definitely. They're thinking strategically, and this RFI lays out a clear path forward.
To a healthcare system that's more efficient, more effective, and more patient-centered.
It's exciting to see them taking the lead on this.
It really is. This deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
Yeah, we've learned a lot about the IHS and their vision for the future.
And honestly, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the future of healthcare technology after seeing how they're approaching this.
Me too. It's inspiring to see them embracing innovation like this. But this is just the beginning, right?
Right. Now it's up to potential partners to step up and answer their call to action.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for the IHS and the companies that join them on this journey.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, but there's one last part of this RFI that we need to talk about.
It's the closing message they have, right? And their invitation to potential partners. It's a really powerful statement, It goes beyond all the technical details.
Yeah, it's more like an invitation to be part of something bigger.
Right. They want people who are passionate about using technology to make a real difference. specifically for Native American communities.
It's like they're acknowledging that they can't do it alone.
Exactly. They're calling on innovators, problem solvers, anyone who wants to make a positive impact.
It's more than just a request for proposals. It's like a blueprint for a better future.
Yeah, I like that. A blueprint. And it really highlights the power of collaboration.
Definitely. The belief that working together, we can use technology to make a real difference. A healthier, more equitable world.
I mean, this whole deep dive has been eye-opening.
It really has.
We've gotten to see the inner workings of the IHS, the challenges they face, and their goals.
And they're not just focused on updating their systems, right? They want to change how they deliver care.
They're embracing new ideas, pushing the limits. It's inspiring to see.
It is. This is a story of progress. A story about using technology to make lives better.
And the best part is, the story isn't over yet.
Right. The IHS is asking us to help write the next chapter.
To lend our expertise, our creativity, our passion, to help build a healthcare system that truly works for Native American communities.
It's a pretty incredible opportunity.
It is. So we've learned a lot in this deep dive about the IHS, their mission, what they're trying to accomplish.
We've seen the dedication to innovation, to working together, to achieving the best possible outcomes.
And it all starts with this RFI. It's a call to action.
For anyone who believes in the power of technology to make a difference.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty hopeful after all
You're
this.
raring to see this kind of forward thinking, especially in healthcare.
So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep asking questions.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy diving.